Hi, I'm Beverly Holden, teacher and author, and today I want to share my story. And here we go. When I was 16 years old, I joined a cult. I say it was a cult because this church had a leader that was revered. We were, we were told to obey all of the doctrines and teachings or we'd be kicked out. Many of the things that we were taught were not mainstream. This was not a hardcore cult like a Jim Jones cult where you drink the Kool-Aid, that kind of thing. It's listed in the book of cults, and it's not important about what church it was. I'm not here to bash anyone or anything. I just want to tell my story and the lessons that I learned as a result. So I joined this very authoritarian church when I was a teenager. I left home. My parents were not happy about my beliefs, um, but I was old enough to make my own decisions, and I did. And um, at one point, the pastor general died, and the new pastor general said, "What we've been teaching you is not correct." Well, my whole foundation was pulled out from under me. So I attended that church for 30 years, taught my children, trained them as best I knew how, and I was very sincere. Um, I believed that I had found the one true church. I believed that we were the only ones who had the real truth. And as weird or as odd as that may sound, it's that's just how I felt. And those that were with me in that church believed the same way, of course. And so when we found out that what all of the things that we were, or many of the things that we believed were incorrect, were wrong, it really rocked our world. Um, we had sacrificed financially, our children, our relationships, and not wearing makeup, just all kinds of different things that then we thought, well, I thought, wow, you mean I did all of this for nothing? You mean I thought I was pleasing God? I thought this was the one true church. I thought this was the truth. How could I be so wrong? And so I stopped attending church and I was just turned off of religion for years. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. And one day, my daughter, one of my daughters, wanted me to watch The Secret with her. Many of you know about The Secret, the law of attraction, and I didn't know what to think at first, but I knew it wasn't religion, and I didn't want anything to do with religion. But I had realized that I had I was missing something. I was missing God. Now, in the church that I attended, um, I never said it out loud, but I was afraid of God. There was a a fear of being punished, a fear of am I doing enough? A fear of am I going to make it into the kingdom of heaven? And so there was a cloud over my head most of the time, just worried, just fearful that I wasn't doing enough to please God. Um, so I let go of that, and I just didn't want anything to do with religion, but I found myself missing God. And so I thought, well, I will try this. It's more of a spiritual thing more than religion, right? And so I got into reading all of Rhonda Byrne's books and the Conversation with God series with Neil Donald Walsh, um, and I started listening to Abraham Hicks, and then I found Jesus and Ananda, uh, channeling Jesus with Tina Spalding. And that's how I got into the Course of Miracles, into spirituality. I started studying a book called A Course in Miracles, which totally changed my whole way of thinking, my whole way of seeing God. I no longer saw God as a fearful God or a judging, punishing God. I knew God was love, but now I understand that God is unconditional love, and He doesn't judge us, and He's not a punishing God. So I'm just laying this out from an introduction, because what I want to do going forward is to share with you experiences or lessons that I've learned as a result of my experience. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll join me next week.